rideshare driver that drives for Uber and Lyft. Joe currently uses multiple phones to efficiently drive for Uber and Lyft. But this can be a pain at times and very unsafe. That was until Joe found Maximo, the rideshare app that automates Uber and Lyft ride requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and passenger rating, to determine which rides are best suited for Joe. When a ride request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will automatically accept the ride request that matches his filters, and then turn off the app that isn't currently on a ride. Once Joe finishes the ride, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to focus more on his passengers and driving safe.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Looks like we have a semi-full room here. Thanks, Pedro, for giving a plug on your live.
You deserve it, brother. It's all good.
So today we have Atlanta Delivers. She is next to me that way. And we have Pedro sitting in. We have Gig Lebowski, and we have Gary. Hannibal won't be with us today because he is handling his clients. So, you know, I think he didn't. I think even though I sent it out a couple times, I think he missed that it was a day one. So, but we got a good cast here, so that's good. So, Atlanta, thank you for joining us today. I know that you're on vacation too, or holiday. Sorry.
Yes.
But I wanted to. There's a few different things that I want to touch on here a little bit. Like, so it's. I put in my notes it's a little different in the UK, and I've talked to some other people, but I know it's a lot different. So I know you work on Just Eat, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and is it Beelivery?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Okay.
Beelivery, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and like where you're from in the UK and, you know, how you got into the gig economy?
Yeah, so my name's Atlanta. I started delivering in July 2019, just after I had my daughter, whilst I was on maternity leave, but wanted something that was like flexible income and work the hours you want. I carried on at my job. I was working at the airport for a while, and then I decided to leave there July last year to do delivering full time. It was obviously like with having a daughter as well, like the flexible hours are great, work when you want. And I post on my social media of delivering, which was going well when I was on like furlough, and I couldn't carry that on obviously working at the airport as well. So I made the decision to leave that and do delivering full time. And I'm from in the UK near Brighton, right down the bottom, down south.
Okay. I know that you actually deliver. I've seen in your videos you deliver in like quite a few markets. I don't know if that's like just to test it out or just to kind of see what that market's like, or is that common with you gig workers over there that you're, because everything's so pushed together, that you're working multi-markets? And I mean that by like by markets, I mean like cities, because like, you know, I live in Denver.
Okay,
I only work in Denver, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, well, for the most part, I work in my hometown, and then I only really go to the different places for like my YouTube. Just to like, we tie it in because my partner works in like children's entertainment. So when he's got a show like somewhere an hour away, we might stay there and then do like a delivery video there as well. Most people do just work in their hometown though. And for the most part, I do.
Okay. So okay. So a lot of these people on this panel here have like often have goals, challenges, amounts to try and reach, or kind of, you know, like pars, whatever you want to call it, what they want to hit a week. And I saw that over the past, I mean, maybe it was like the past couple months, you've had a few out that are like that you're trying to reach 1,000 pounds in a week. Like that seems to be is that a doable target in a moderate amount of hours? Or is that like a stretch? Are you having to really put it in to get that?
Yeah, I mean that week it is a lot of hours. I mean I did 5 days, so I still had 2 days off with my daughter, but the days I did are like start at 7 a.m. and go through till like 9 p.m. So you have to do, quite a lot of hours to actually do that. But some people do it every week. I don't. For some weeks.
But I mean, like, so how many hours does that take you? Just curious. I mean, I know you can't be exact, but
probably,
I'm just trying to figure it out against ours.
Yeah, I'd say approximately 50 to 60 hours.
Okay.
In a week.
I mean, that's so yeah. Driver Sensei put up that so here's the breakdown so that we all know. That's so 50, 60 hours is about that. So oddly, that's about the same because when I had Gig Guy Grant on here, he was saying that he's like, you guys make way more than us over here. And I was like, that's weird because we complain a lot about how we get paid. I thought somebody would say something.
But we complain a lot though as well because we have to rely on tips. A lot of other countries don't rely on the tips.
Well, but Atlanta, you get tips, correct?
Sorry, it cut out.
That's all right.
I'm gonna try and come outside. You're gonna have to repeat some of that, I'm afraid.
Oh, so Gary was talking about how we rely on our tips a little bit more here, and I said, but you get tips there.
Oh.
Right? I mean, people
not really,
tip you.
No. I think that's the main difference.
Yeah,
no, not really.
Yeah, like I believe their apps, in order to add a tip for them, the customer actually has to message support and say, add a tip. Not like here to where it's just a pop-up for us.
So with ours, Deliveroo and Uber, you can tip on the app, but Just Eat, you can't tip on the app.
Which Just Eat's over there is Grubhub for us over here, by the way.
Okay, right.
Yeah, you can't tip on there for us.
So
that would be a cultural thing, don't you think? Right? I mean, I know in America, tipping is kind of status quo, and a lot of other countries, it's not even a thing. It's almost like a sign of disrespect in like certain parts of like Asia and stuff like that. But it's interesting because like 70% of what I make comes from tips. And I bet it's probably flip for you. Maybe it's the other way,
I guess, our pay for deliveries is higher. So tips aren't so necessary for us. Probably 1 in 10 tip over here, I'd say.
Wow.
Okay. So in a percentage though, it's probably even less than 10%, maybe like 5% of your income comes from tips.
I think she's running into some connectivity issues.
My signal is being awful.
Yeah, I know whenever I was looking at my Maximo data for my Australian and New Zealand users, I would say it was probably less than 5% were tipped. I know their DoorDash down there, you do have to message support in order to add a tip. You can't do it through an app. And I know I believe it's Zoomy and Diddy, you cannot add a tip through the app either. But I believe Uber you can.
Yeah, like Pedro said, that's what I've always heard, that it was like not really a thing over in the UK in that area for tipping.
Mm-mm.
That's weird. With as much as they're all, I mean, that pubs are on every corner and things like that.
To find...
Yeah, we're letting you have that time. We see see what's going on. That you're having a little issue, so we'll kind of bear with for a second.
We're great at filling in.
What's wild to me, Steve, is how the companies know based on country or region what they can get away with paying drivers. You know what I'm saying? Like they know that. It's wild to me.
Right, because I mean they have to, and we'll get to that, but they have to be paying her much better than they would pay us, or else they wouldn't even have people scraping for.
Yeah. I wonder what her lowest offer coming in would be. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what that base pay is on the app she has.
Oh,
Well,
they still get some low offers. They
Yeah.
still do. It's just, and I don't know how it calculates because none of these companies actually break it down for us on what they calculate. But I know as far as I'd have to check see if I got any UK users, but I know Australia a lot because I deal with my beta testers over there, and I've seen some like 60 cent per mile offers come in for them.
Wow, crazy.
But
Okay.
they also have full transparency though as well.
Oops.
Like they don't have tip maybe higher, things like that.
Right. I mean, but so okay, now Atlanta's back, and I can say this though. But I mean, she's still making $1,300 American dollars on a 50-hour ish week. I mean, that's what we make, and like you said, Pedro, 70% of that's tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
that's just crazy.
our pay must obviously is higher, so we don't rely on don't rely on tips because we don't get them.
So is that the same when you go out to dinner and for drinks and stuff? You don't tip much?
I do a little bit personally, but it's definitely not really the done thing to do unless it's like outstanding.
Wow.
Did you
But
hear
then,
what she said? It's not the dumb thing to do. Sorry.
No. That's yeah, because it's like
I love how their words are completely different than ours. I just love it.
Yeah, how would we have said that? It's not the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just said it backwards. Okay, so before we jump into what I think of as your newfound fame, I just wanted to ask you about so this kind of relates to what we've been talking about, the company's pay models. Then, since there isn't tip, how is that pay model structured to like
So
how you earn?
So ours is all based on distance. So the apps vary. For Deliveroo and Uber, it's all based on from the restaurant to the customer. You don't get paid to go to pick up. I don't know if that's the same over there. And then it's roughly around £1 a mile, I want to say. But like base minimum's like £3. So I guess it's like $350, I guess.
So that's about the same.
Yeah. And then, it depends when it's like, say a Friday night, then there's boosts on. So that would be like 1.5. So you'll get like 50% extra. If it's busy times, they just up the pay. And then Just Eat for us, I guess, is the different one. So we get paid from wherever we are. They pay us to the restaurant and from there to the customer. So Just Eat for us is the best paid.
Okay.
Which app do you like to work the most? Which one's your favorite?
It's changing over time because a lot of the pay is being reduced over here at the moment. It's not great. My favorite was Just Eat, but it's because Just Eat, the only one is here as well. If you wait over 10 minutes at a restaurant, then they pay you extra, whereas the others don't. But I'm starting to like Deliveroo more now. It seems to be the most like user friendly. The customer service is definitely the best, and the orders are like ready pretty much all of the time.
Cool.
Okay.
Now they also for the Uber and things like that, you have a surge multiplier. It's not a set amount, correct?
Yeah.
So it'll be like 1.5x, 2.x, things like that.
Yeah.
Steve, you remember when we had that here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all the other countries, they still have that, and we're set at that
Oh my gosh.
set pay amount.
Okay. So they do. So you do still get surge.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was starting to think, geez, because I mean, like, I know for a fact your cost of living isn't that much different than ours. I mean, it's not like it's cheap to live where you live.
No, especially because like down south where I am, I think it's the most expensive. So
Yeah.
the
So
further you go up the country, kind of the cheaper it gets.
sure. So while we're there too, I really found there was one video you had I was watching that really struck me big, because here in the United States, a lot of us, we're all supposed to have the correct insurance. We're all supposed to have a type of commercial insurance. More than 90% of us, and I think it's even more, but 90% at least don't carry the right insurance. We're not correctly insured to do rideshare or food delivery or any of this stuff. People just get on the apps and they let them work. I know that you talked about that literally you can buy a daily insurance.
Yeah.
Like, I want to work tomorrow, so I'm going to buy insurance for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we don't even have an option of. I'm surprised. Do the apps over there make sure that you have the insurance? Are they actually saying, hey, send us your commercial insurance that you're correctly?
Yeah. So if you're signed up as a car or like on a scooter or, motorbike, then before you start, you have to send in your insurance, the correct one, or they won't let you start. And like when that, you have to put the date that it expires, and then you have to upload it, or basically you'll get kicked off the app. Some people do go around it though and put they're on a bicycle. And then are doing it without the correct insurance. But if you get stopped over here, which is quite often they check, then you're a bit screwed.
Right. Or if you have a situation. But yeah, so yeah, they make us upload our insurance too. But it's funny because when I said that, they tell us we have to have this, or you need to carry these, we all, and people can upload insurance that shows you don't have the right insurance, and they'll still let you go.
No, they're so strict over here. There was a situation recently that one of my partners, a delivery driver as well, and his insurance was being taken over by another company. And they briefly kicked him off and said, no, that's not right. And it was a bit of a nightmare for all the scooter riders had this insurance, and it was being taken over by somewhere else. And Uber was like, no, you've got the wrong thing. Even though it was the right thing, it was just being taken over. So yeah, they're pretty strict on it over here.
Now, you guys also, does the UK require you to have permits as well? Like Australia, they have to have an actual permit to do gig-related stuff, not food delivery, but like rideshare, things like that. They have to have actual permits, like a taxi.
Yeah, for like Uber drivers, it's not that easy to be a Uber driver over here, or a taxi driver. It's not easy.
But it's not the same for delivery.
No.
They don't make, what is it, the TfL? Or what is it? It's
transport. That's Transport for London.
Okay, right. But right, exactly. Like if you're in London, you don't have to go through the TfL to do delivery.
No, not delivery, no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because even Gig Guy Grant, when he was on, was telling me that he has to pay, and he does it on a scooter, but he has to pay every time he crosses into different parts of London, like pay a toll.
Yeah, I'm sure you would if you're in that area, yeah.
I mean, just there's so many crazy expenses that for all the people that you wouldn't believe how many, and we are hit, same as you, we all are getting hit by these apps. They're all constantly finding a way to grind it down. But yeah, I mean, like, I can't imagine how many people would quit if we were under those type strict restrictions.
Definitely.
Like no tips,
there's
paying tolls, this, that.
Yeah, there's protests going on at the minute over here. Like each individual town keeps like striking for like the pay to be upped.
Okay.
Oh, I think that it would be crazier over here. I think it would be. Yeah. Plus, I think if we had really, really strict, I think of DoorDash specifically, because Uber is a little more like mine. I got to submit sort of more paperwork with Uber more often than I do DoorDash, like where documentation, it seems like, at least. But maybe that's because I have the Uber rideshare app, but as a driver. But like with DoorDash, if they were that strict as they are over there, where I can't, half the drivers would just be kicked off automatically. I think a lot of people that do DoorDash probably don't even have regular insurance on their automobile. The car is probably not registered. They're working on somebody else's account. I see it at least in my market. So I think you could take half those 2 million DoorDash drivers could be completely ineligible to drive.
No, I've never uploaded additional insurance to DoorDash ever since I signed up 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
That's my point.
I've never had to upload it again.
Uber does it, but DoorDash, once they get your pulse and your car keys, They'll let you do whatever
Yeah,
you want.
Grubhub as well. I've never uploaded anything to them since I signed up either.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, you started your YouTube channel 8 months ago with a video short, but really you started it like 6 months ago, right? Because then it was
Yeah.
like I went to the bottom and I saw 8 months, and then it was 6 months ago was the next one. It was like a 20-minute
Yeah.
as opposed to a short. So we'll call it 6 months for a minute. So in
Yeah.
6 months time, and I know over there too, like gig people on YouTube, gig creators, content creators, whatever you might call them over there. I know that they're not as many as like we have here. So I think what you've done is huge. In 6 months, you've gone to 3,000 subscribers. I don't even know how long you've had your TikTok channel, but it's already over 42,000.
Wow.
Deliveroo puts you in a documentary,
Yeah.
and I saw you standing next to a car that was a Just Eat car. It said, "Look at my new car." I don't know if it was a joke or not.
That was for April Fools.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Hold on, what's the Just
No
Eating car? What's that?
So it was a car like wrapped in all orange for the color of Just Eat, and it said Just Eat on it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like a Rapify type thing. Yeah. So, but I mean, like, so you've really grown over there. Obviously, Deliveroo took notice of it. Your TikTok channel blows up. Deliveroo putting you in the documentary. Like, how did all this happen in 6 months?
So well, starting my TikTok, it only started with delivery videos a year ago, not even a year ago. So that has grown very quickly, really. But so the delivery stuff was, I did a local newspaper contacted me, like just in like where I live, and they wanted to do like an article on me. It was really nice, actually, really sweet, just about kind of what I do. And then from that, loads of other newspapers got in contact, and Deliveroo discovered it from just that little article, and then got in contact and then asked if I went to like an event not too long ago, met some of the people like head of Deliveroo, and just went from there, really.
But then, so I mean, you had an idea about the documentary when they
Yes.
brought you in, or did you have to meet a few people at Deliveroo first, and they kind of were like, "Hey, we'd like you to be in this documentary"?
So it was actually just a couple of they contacted me and said they're doing International Women's Day. Do I want to be a part of it? And I was like, sure, why not? And then a couple of the media team came down from London to where I live, and we spent the whole day filming.
So is that documentary out? What is that? Is that a BBC thing? Is that a
It was just a short video, actually. It was for International Women's Day, to promote like female drivers. So it was the Break the Bias. So
Okay.
obviously, predominantly, there's not a lot of women. I don't know if it's the same over there, but over here, there's not a lot of women that delivery drive. So help promote that. But it's just, I think it's on Deliveroo's website. It's just a couple of minutes long. But they said they'll get in contact in the future for other filming. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're already thinking like, because you've got the name, you've got the face, you've got the recognition. I'm wondering if they're already thinking down the road of like, hey, let's keep an eye on her because we might want to bring her into the company a little bit.
I think so. And even when I went to the Deliveroo event, some of like the top of Deliveroo was there, and they already watched my stuff on YouTube, so they're already aware. And there is talks of they're putting it forward to meet the head of Deliveroo, who does live over here, about doing a video with him potentially. So
Very
the
nice.
CEO of Deliveroo. So yeah.
Let them know.
That'd be pretty exciting.
Let them know me and Gig Lebowski would love. Me and Gig Lebowski team up, and we'll do a documentary for them.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have Deliveroo over there?
No, I don't think we do. No,
you don't.
Maybe they could be the beginning of it. That's how they can get over there.
Yes.
I think the only one we share is Uber Eats.
Mm.
I think
everything else is Grubhub's, they're Just Eats. It's almost a carbon copy, I believe.
Okay.
I would imagine DoorDash will be over there at some point. They've been expanding to other countries, so I would imagine they would get there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think DoorDash is U.S., Canada, and Australia right now.
And I heard they were trying to get into Japan or something as well. That's what I heard. But
Oh,
maybe
good luck over there.
Yeah, I heard they were trying to get somewhere, and I heard that like last summer. But
So this is from Robert at Hot. I'm just going through some comments at this point. So, an event She Can Sing also has a great voice. So I just, funny enough, right before when I was like hooking up everything and getting this going, I jumped on TikTok real quick, and she was live on TikTok, singing, and she's like, I don't know how my voice is gonna hold up, but I'll be there. And so I don't know, like I was, to me, I'm in Mountain Standard Time. I'm not even on the East Coast, so to me right now it's 12:26 p.m. And you're coming up, you're in nighttime now. So
yeah, I've been doing karaoke all day.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, let me see. I'm just kind of rolling through these. If hey, Lebowski or anybody else, you have questions, I'm just kind of rolling through some of the, because there was a lot of comments. I want to see if people have questions here.
I got a question while you're looking. So you work between 50 or 60 hours a week. How long have you been able to sustain that?
I mean, I don't do those hours anymore.
Oh, okay.
Some weeks I do, some I don't. I've become a bit bad. because I'm doing my YouTube, so I have to like edit as well and stuff. So I am doing a lot less, but probably not even like when like COVID was really bad. I was definitely doing those hours like every single week for a year plus.
Yeah.
But now I don't do as many.
It's hard to do that for that long, I think you can get burnt out. It's like it's tough to. I used to kind of drive. Last year, I drove a lot more than I'm driving now, and I was working even 6-7 days a week sometimes, and it can get to you. The money's there, so you feel like you're always missing out sometimes if you're not working. But like sometimes it's good to take a break,
Definitely. That's why I always say if anyone asks me about pay, I'm like, the more hours you put in, the more you're going to earn. You can earn good money if you want to. That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, it's a great point.
So okay, there's a lot of people here.
I did want to let Eric know I am awake. I just haven't had anything to touch on yet. Percent look hot. Yeah, it's like 80 degrees, so I have the AC on. I don't want it too loud because it'll make some kind of sound,
Yeah.
Yeah, notice you tried to put a bag or something over your phone.
Yeah, it's
block the sun.
Yeah, the reason I went out a few minutes ago is it overheated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My God, we're only in spring, man, and it's already 80 down there.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I did have something to say about Just Eat Takeaway though. I actually have stock in Just Eat Takeaway, and it's tied up right now. I can't take it out or buy anymore because they're going through something. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
They're delisting from the U.S. stock exchange.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, because they bought Grubhub,
right?
And so they got all them shares. Well, then their shares tanked, and now the CEO of Just Eat says, "Well, we're not going to be on the U.S. stock exchange. We're going to delist from it." Oh. I'm not sure exactly how that works for the shares that you have, because I sold mine the moment I heard that. Boom, sold, gone. Yeah, and then the next day it tanked down to like, I don't know, $6 a share. And I think I sold mine at like, I don't know, $19 a share. So I was like, woo,
man.
And so they're still going to have the Just Eats over there, but the Just Eat CEO did say that he wasn't going to sell. But I mean, how long are you going to keep throwing money at it?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's interesting over here because all of them, I don't know if it's the same there, all of the main three companies here, they're all running at a loss. None of them are actually making any profit.
Same here.
Yeah. So they're just I think they're just waiting for like one of them to drop out.
Well, they're not. I don't know about over there, but at least over here, they're not running at a loss because there's no money to be made. They're running at a loss because they got so much into advertising and then trying to replace drivers with automation. Everybody's trying to get the next robot that delivers or the next car that drives itself, or, Uber's been through like 4 different automation companies.
Right.
just trying to replace drivers, and so that's why a lot of them operate at a loss. I mean, just off of orders, like Uber Eats is, they don't operate at a loss over here. That's actually the only thing that makes money for Uber. But their rideshare tanks so bad that they lose a whole bunch of money. And then of course they got Australia. Did you guys see that? They got Scuba Uber.
Yeah.
Like,
Scuba. It's Scuba.
It's Scuba.
Yeah.
It's like a little mini
I don't know
submarine.
if it's around now. That was before
Yeah.
I'd be surprised, man, because I know during the pandemic that probably shut down.
That's wild.
Yeah, actually we have a little tag here of Scuba. Just so everybody can see.
Yeah, see?
Great
Scuba.
Barrier Reef, Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's not a joke. You actually can
would
take
actually
these
get in
little
it.
things out.
Yeah, and go down to the reef and look around, things like that. It was crazy.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool.
They had helicopters in Dallas. I don't know who's going to afford that as an Uber, but okay.
Yeah. So are you under that same like the worker class? Like we're in a fight here in the United States about passing a thing called the PRO Act nationally, and on local levels, like California already did a thing called AB 5 and Prop 22, which is basically was that people can't be independent contractors, made it almost next to impossible. And then they gave them like pennies on the dollar in this Prop 22 thing to try and make gig workers feel like they were earning a little more because of all this. But I know that you guys have that worker class that was created for the gig economy. Does that create a minimum wage, or can you have a absolute just awful day?
Yeah, you can have an awful day. I think the way around it is there's some changes over here, like in the last few months. So still for me, I'm completely self-employed. So I think like the same as you, I'm based on if there's no deliveries, I don't get paid, which sometimes it is really quiet. But they've started now on Just Eat that some people are now contracted to Just Eat and they pay hourly. They pay for your insurance and they give you like a electric bike to use. So they have recently started that. So for them, they're on like, I think it's £10 an hour, and then paid like £1 extra for every delivery as well. But for me, I'm just, and most people, and that's only in certain areas, it's just self-employed. So it's, if there's no deliveries, you're not getting paid.
So what makes it so, and I know each case is totally individual, but in your case, what makes it so that you don't want that status? That you'd rather be independent?
I guess so. Well, you're going to have to do the hours that they want. With you're doing that, you're stuck on one app, I'd say. You're going to have to do the drops that they want you to. I think pretty much whether you like it or not. I'd much prefer to, if there's one I don't want to do, I won't do it, and I'll do one on, decline that one, do another one on that app or on another app, which I don't think you quite have the freedom to do.
So on that's what I was going to ask you. Do you know if they have the freedom to accept or decline, or is it a forced dispatch system?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's more or less that you have to do them, but I'm not 100% sure, which would be hard, because like, especially even in like my town, I can't actually go to the town centre because I can't park there, and the traffic wardens are so strict over here. I'm not 100% sure how it works.
Now, do you know what their hourly pay is compared to what you would normally make? By chance, have you checked into that?
Yeah, I think it's around £10 an hour. So I guess that's maybe like $12 an hour plus £1 extra for every delivery you do. For me, like quiet hours, I aim for £10 an hour, and busy hours, I aim for like £20 an hour. So it's got its benefits because your insurance is paid as well, and you get like a bicycle to use. So it has its pros and cons, I think.
Yeah, I bet it's probably pretty close. If you're talking about them paying insurance and then you get, I don't know if you mentioned something about gas or not, but I bet it might be close. But Well, then I'm like you. I like to have the freedom to be able to choose where I want to go, not have to be on a schedule, not have to maybe go to an area, a town I don't want to, like, and when you're more of an employee or you're getting some kind of benefits, you're actually maybe having to go do some things you don't want to do. I like to just be able to turn on the app, do what I want, turn it off when I want.
Yeah, especially normally for me, like if I've done like a long day and near the end of the shift, like I'll love to just do some easy shopping orders to like end the day. I'm like, I can't be bothered to do the rest anymore. I can't be bothered to wait 20 minutes at McDonald's.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So if you did do that, if you did choose to, and you've already, I mean, I prefer independent contractorship. I know Pedro does. I know all of us do. However, if you did choose to go the working route model, have your insurance paid, take that $10 plus $1 per trip. I'm guessing you can't do more than 2-3 trips in an hour tops.
Yeah.
I mean, can you then work the other apps when you're not scheduled?
Yeah.
Or is there like a non-compete clause once you go that route?
I think it's hard to say for that, but I imagine if you're not on a shift, then you can work the other apps. I don't think that's a problem. But I think if you're on shift, then I doubt you'd be able to use the other apps.
So it's like a schedule. It's like having a job.
Well, it's kind of like working at Domino's and trying to deliver for Pizza Hut at the same time. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Well, I meant after, like she was saying, like outside of the blocks, like let's say you work 40 hours and they're just make it easy, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Can you work the weekends for Beelivery or the other ones that you're not employed with? Because that's an interesting thing to be like an employee of one, have your insurance and all that covered. And then, I mean, I'm guessing they have a certain amount of hours you have to work to keep that status.
And I guess if you were on like another app, then your insurance obviously would only cover Just Eat. So you'd also need other insurance, like separately.
So can you give us an idea of what insurance is like over there? Like, I know you drive a car. Yeah. You're not on a bicycle. You're not on a moped. You're in a car.
Yeah. So, well, my insurance luckily has dropped a lot now. So I started off paying hourly, this is like the pay as you go, which is good if you're doing it part-time. It was like $1.50 an hour. And that would only charge you when you're actually delivering. If you're sitting there waiting for orders, you're not being charged. So it does work well if you're just doing it part-time. And then I decided to do it monthly, which to start with, this is like not even with like normal insurance. This is just the delivery insurance, was I think about £260 a month. And then it went up to, I think it was £350 a month. Like it was getting ridiculous. And then I found a new company that only started in October. And now I'm paying for my normal insurance and delivery insurance £150 a month. So the delivery part now is actually only costing me £30 a month to do any apps as much as I want. But it was just getting crazy, the amount I was paying.
Okay. So, it's so different. I mean, when you say hourly insurance, my eyes just almost came out of my head. Like I thought day insurance was weird enough. Hourly. Can you guys, Gary, Pedro, can you guys imagine hourly insurance?
Like, I need it from 245 to 345.
I don't even, I mean, first of all, nobody do it.
Second of all, we couldn't handle that here. We wouldn't, think about the insurance companies trying to handle, we can't do basic things here. So there's no way we'd be able to do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, so if you do the hourly insurance, which I'm guessing is the more expensive route to take also, but, what do you do? Do you just call them and say, hey, I'm going to work 8 hours today?
So it's all on an app. It's only one company that does it, and it's all automatic. It is quite easy, actually. So it just, you say the companies you're working with, and then it tracks with the apps when you've got a delivery.
Okay. So it's a separate app for insurance that you have to turn on while you're working these.
Yes. So you say to them, I'm working for...
genius.
It
Yeah.
is, huh?
That
Because
is
then,
actually
because then
pretty
if you
deep.
can't
Yeah.
match it up and you had an incident, they're not going to
Yeah,
cover you.
because if you get an incident, say 2 p.m., you know, and you didn't turn it on till 2 or 3 p.m., they're gonna be like, sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's
like I
pretty
said, if
lenient.
you're sitting there waiting for a delivery, then you're not being charged for the insurance, so you're not covered. It's only when that it tracks when you're on a delivery that you're getting charged.
How does that work?
That's wild.
Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So if say I have a delivery to McDonald's, as soon as that app gives me that order and I accept it, then you're being charged for your insurance. Once that drop off is done, then your insurance stops and you're
I mean,
not being
that's like,
charged until your next delivery.
I mean,
That's
that's
like
minute by
5
minute.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's not
minute.
even hourly. That's real time insurance. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Very
Now,
interesting.
So
how
then
does
are
the
they
insurance app?
tied?
Yeah, are they integrated with the delivery companies over there?
Yeah, I think so. So the one, it's called Zego. So it's the main delivery company for insurance that pretty much, I would say 9 out of 10 use. Like most people use it. And yeah, so they're all, you say you're working with Deliveroo, Uber, and Just Eat, and then they're like intertwined. I don't think they necessarily work together. Like Deliveroo doesn't promote using that one. It's just kind of the main one people use. And I did for a long time until October, I think it was.
Well, that's what we was wondering. How are they integrated? Because you said the moment you accept it, the insurance app knows that you're on that delivery. So there's got to be some type of API access there. I would assume. I have heard about this for apps in the U.S., but it's more like you have to be an actual company, you know, and then you pay by the trip as well. But you actually have to be like an Uber, and then you know the moment that trip starts, then the insurance kicks in and everything like that. But I've never heard it for individual person by person use. That's
I think
genius.
it's great if you're doing it part-time, because like a lot of people, like I was paying like an extra £350 a month, which is, I don't know, nearly $400 I'd say extra for my delivery insurance. And now if you're doing that part-time, then you're not even going to make that back. It's not worth it. So if you can do it, you know, hourly, just when you're working, I think it's great.
Do you know what I'm sorry, I might have missed it. Did you say how much it cost hourly?
It all depends. So it depends on, you know, your age, your car. Mine was, I think the lowest it starts at 75p an hour, which is probably like $1 an hour. And then I was paying around £1.30 or £1.50 an hour. I think the highest is £2.20 an hour. So it's sort of like how insurance is.
But that's for active time too, right? That's only when you're okay.
Okay, so here's the difference though, because like I have endorsement policy on my insurance, and I actually pay $6 per month, and it covers me all month long.
Wow.
So so 6 of her deliveries is what I pay for a whole month.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But I don't think that would be the case with most drivers.
Right.
Well, I've seen them. Typically, it's less than $20 a month for the endorsements here. Is what I typically see. Right. Yeah, you know, which
some of those people go out and get the blind commercial coverage and pay $1,000. They were paying $250. They pay $750 more a month. So it's
there's no reason for commercial here though.
I mean, everybody in the chat, I've seen it a bunch. Everybody's like, I want that. I keep seeing it. Like, I like this idea. I like this idea. I like this idea.
It's a genius idea, but I mean, if you break it down to, you know, USD standards, you know, if you do 20 deliveries a day and you're paying $1 per delivery, you're paying $20 a day.
Yeah, you know, it does add up.
It would add up very quickly if you look at it that way. You know, but say if you're the person that does 10 deliveries a month, it might be a cheaper option.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I started like that and then changed to monthly.
So here's a question for you from somebody. What happens if someone hits you while you're just sitting in a parking lot and not on a delivery?
So I guess it would be, so you'd have normal insurance as well, like your comprehensive insurance. So that's like a top on. So I guess if you're sitting there and not on a delivery, then you'll be covered by your like normal insurance.
Even if you have, we have a thing here where even if you have the app on, you're considered in phase 1. And so like your insurance can decide, not helping you.
Yeah, I guess I don't know fully, but yeah, I could see that could be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're just, I mean, it's weird because even if you're just sitting there waiting for a ping, not driving or something that might have taken your eyes off the road, but just that alone.
Well, does your insurance work like ours here? Somebody run into you, they have to pay, not you though. Does it work like that over there?
Yeah, so it's all so for us, so you have to pay like out of your pocket? Is that what you mean?
No. Like for instance, if Steve runs into me, his insurance has to pay me. I don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah, correct.
Same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
same here. Yeah.
So if she's sitting in a parking lot and somebody runs into her, they better have insurance because they're gonna have to pay her.
Right. Maybe that wasn't, I mean, that was the example somebody threw up. I'm trying to think outside the box because there are times.
Now maybe if she was driving down the road and not on a delivery and she ran into somebody, maybe her insurance would kick in then, kind of like a phase 1 deal.
But even though you have to get that extra insurance, even if it's not through your insurance provider, you probably still have to tell your insurance that you're doing this.
Yeah, it's hard. So this is one of the problems is, so a lot of normal insurances don't allow like the top up insurance straight away. They're like, no, there's not many companies. So that's why most people, you kind of have to do it just through one company and have it everything on one. As you can be like, it sounds great. And you're like, oh, my insurance is £50 a month and then £1 extra an hour. But then you tell your normal insurance and they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't have a top on.
What do you guys think? I think most people that do these gig apps, I think less than 1% have the appropriate insurance. What do you guys think?
I would hope it's 5, but I think you're right.
I think maybe I'm just saying, man.
I know, man. I sadly think you're right.
So do many people get pulled over?
Not here, no. No. Well, over here we don't have to have everything extra like you guys do over there. Yeah. So it's not like a police officer going to pull us over to check anything unless you're actually breaking the law or illegally parked or something like that. Yeah. Like I know Australia, they get pulled over to check, I think it's their P license or something like that to make sure they can actually do rideshare or delivery. They actually have to have another permit to airport permits. You can't drive in certain lanes during certain times. It's very different wherever you compare the two. You should come deliver in the U.S. You'd like, this is
I would
stupid.
love to. Yeah, I would love to one day.
I mean, I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, that's again, the cost of living is about equal to like a major metropolitan city in the United States, and you earn well. You like what you earn, but here you would earn a lot better. Even though, and yet here I'm not saying that
St. Louis is a great market. I hear St. Louis is a wonderful market.
Not in the last 2 weeks, it ain't.
So are you planning on doing gig work long term?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have any plan. I guess because of my like social media, what I do on social media is delivering. And that's doing well, then they go together.
She gonna be the female version of Pedro.
Oddly, I made a joke in something. I said when I did a video and I was like talking about some of the upcoming things, and I was saying Atlanta, and the first thing that came to my head is I'm like, she's kind of and I got stuck for words, and I was like, she's a female Pedro on the other side of the ocean.
Yeah, that's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment, man. She sounds like she's doing a lot better than me. So.
Well, I don't think any of us. I mean, Michael, would you work under those earning conditions?
It's hard to say. I mean, like, it seems to work for her. I mean, over there I would, I guess, because it would be, I guess, normal. But over here, maybe not so much. I will say I haven't talked much, but I have been subscribed to you for a long time, Really enjoy your channel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I think
so
all
you're,
of us-
you're saying that if they brought the UK pay over to United States, you wouldn't like it?
I don't know. I'd have to like look at it like pretty hard. Like I definitely don't like the way we get paid now. So I guess maybe I would lean more towards it. Because like today I was telling you guys before we started, the DoorDash has just been horrible today. It's like $4 offers for 16 miles, and that's absolutely insane.
I guess
I don't
that's a
know.
good thing. We never have that.
Yeah, you don't. Wow. We
What-
were tortured
well,
with that daily.
Pedro asked that earlier while you was having connectivity issues or something. What is the lowest payout you have seen?
The lowest is for a car is £3 for a delivery. So
$4.
I guess that approximately what, $3.20, $3.40.
So not that.
I don't know
not
where's
that
Driver
different.
Sensei with his quick math.
Well, we've been. I mean, the
I'm just
lowest
guessing.
I've seen Uber Eats at $1.50
Wow.
for a stack. Like I was on one already, then they want to stack one, and it's $1.50. And then with DoorDash, they'll send you $2.25. And if they stack it, they want to add one. I've seen the lowest on DoorDash is $2.
Yeah, there's $3.92 USD.
$4. Yeah. $4.
Oh wow.
There we go. I'm just guessing when I say what it is in dollars. I have no idea.
We don't either. That's why we rely on Driver Sensei.
I'll backtrack now. Yeah, I would take her pay.
Yeah, that's minimum. You can have, when it's a busy Friday night, every order is like £10, £11, £12. Like no problem. Consistently.
Are you might not know this comparison, but are all of the cities around you oversaturated by like 3 times as many people as you need to do these jobs?
There's definitely more drivers than when I started. For sure. For the most part, there's still work. The last few weeks though, it has kind of been like that. There's been more drivers than needed. Normally you can still make your money though, but there's definitely a lot more drivers than there used to be.
Yeah.
No, Steve always asks us this: are you, since the pandemic brought a lot of business, since then and everything's starting to open back up and regulations are going down, are you seeing less orders?
Yeah, definitely. That's right, especially the last few weeks with it's the same everywhere. The price of living's going up. Our electricity has gone up by 50%, I think it is. I don't know if it's the same everywhere. And I feel like that's why people are ordering less. Like people have less, disposable income. But luckily, like the shopping orders have gone up. So yeah, it's hard.
Do you guys have the shopping apps?
So
like
they're
to go
not,
to like the grocery store or?
So ours is different. I found this really interesting actually. So it was in December, I went to Florida and I ordered, and I didn't know you guys, I think it was on Uber, and like I got a message from the driver being like, oh, they don't have this. And I was like, oh, hold on, you have to go and like pick the order yourself. You have to get the items off the shelf. I was like mind blown by it. I was like, whoa, let me like up the tip, because I was like, I did not realize that. So for us, like Uber will be given a shop like your equivalent to like Walmart. We'll go there, everything's ready. You just pick up the bags and go. There's no, get the items off the shelf.
We have those services too, where you can just do that, but they're more rare. They don't pay as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Yeah.
I think she just dropped the nugget, guys. I think she just dropped the nugget. She didn't know. She was not, right? I think a lot of customers that use these apps, and it's nobody's fault, they don't know how or what we do or what we make. And she just said, well, I was going to have to up the tip. And she would up the tip because she works in this industry. I think a lot of consumers are uninformed and they're not educated on it. And I think that even when apps like DoorDash or Uber or Domino's will put on a pizza box, tip your driver, consumers are so inundated with all these words and signs. We don't read that stuff anymore. And a lot of people are uninformed. I think that's a big reason why we don't see tips in America, because they think that they don't really know what we're doing. and the effort that it
Yeah,
takes.
definitely. I already tipped because I know over there it's like the done thing to do. But then I was like, like
I
the
love
driver
that.
message bit,
I
the
love
driver
it.
message being like, we don't have this. Can I substitute it? And then it was like there was a few things, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute, like you've got to do this yourself. Like let me up the tip because I didn't know that until I went in December. I'd been to America before, but not really ordered. So it was only December just gone that I realized that's how it works.
See, and that's
I
coming
was
from
mind blown.
somebody who doesn't even live here knew to tip more.
Yeah. So what we learned: do the dumb thing and tip more.
I'm gonna start using that word. I'm gonna start using it in different contexts. I love it.
Well, I know we're really appreciative of your time today because I like hearing the differences between the two because a lot of states already and even the country through this thing called the PRO Act that we will not even touch into, but they're all trying to push for like us to all be workers or work under a franchise model and things that these companies, like they tried it in California and they said, Uber and Lyft's going to have to follow these rules. Uber and Lyft said, we're leaving this state tomorrow. It came down to like the midnight hour and the state said, never mind, you don't have to follow that law until you get your November ballots. I mean, it's like a stalemate game, and it's none of us here today would work under an employment model. But as independent contractors, we keep sticking with it. But I mean, like you were saying, they just keep chiseling it down. It's like, how far can they go? Well, I really appreciate you coming on today. I mean, it really is nice to hear these differences. And then I saw your most recent video, and I got to say, so this is one thing I want to end it with is that I didn't watch it because I wanted to know just firsthand before what you guys thought. Because I saw your most recent video. If it's still your most recent video, said you got a box of candy from America. Yeah. So I want to know what that video was or what you thought. I mean, do you think like our stuff is junk and like, oh my gosh, like?
So there was a few bits American then there. I think your chocolate over there is not as good. American chocolate does not compare to British chocolate. A lot of the sweets I like. I think there's a lot more like artificial in American sweets though.
Yes.
For sure.
We have a lot of fake foods over here, but we have to. We like to eat. We like to eat here. Like that's what America's like. That's what we do. So we have to pump out all this artificial food with all this. We don't even know what's in it because we need to keep up with the demand. And I bet it might be a little bit different. You guys probably eat a little more. It's just different. I think it's just the way the food's prepared is very different.
I realized that in December when I was in America, my daughter had in Disney the cheese sauce and came out on a rash. And then we looked at the ingredients and we were like, oh, I'm not sure there's even cheese in this.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It tastes. I mean, some of our crap tastes really good, but some of it's like if you look at the label, it's like, what am I putting in my body? Right?
Yeah.
Wait, is this coming from the vegan?
No. I'm not vegan. There's a big difference.
Overall, though, I do
love
like American sweets. And my favorite of American is pineapple Fanta. We don't have that back here.
Pineapple what?
Fanta.
Pineapple Fanta.
Oh, yeah.
I've never even seen it.
Oh, no, it's
Really?
good. It's basically high fructose corn syrup and cane sugar and then regular sugar and then like some other sugar. I don't know. Yeah. And then, like,
It's so good, though.
It is good.
It's so good. And we can't really get it over here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very familiar with Fanta. I've just never seen the pineapple one. So,
Really?
but yeah. Hey, thank you for your time. I know you've had a full day. I know that you're in Spain right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out, get some dinner.
Yeah. But thank you for taking the time out of your holiday. I was gonna try and use the word dumb in your way, but I can't do it right now. I feel really dumb right now. But
I think you just said that right, actually, Steve. I think you actually said it.
But thank you so much again for taking your time,
That's
especially
okay.
on your vacation. And yeah, I hope the rest of it goes great. And we'll definitely, hopefully, other people too, because I don't think a lot of people here were. I mean, I know Michael and myself watch you and have for a while, but I'm not sure a lot of people do. And it's you're a channel worth watching, even if you live over here. So
Well,
hopefully,
and
some of
Thank
these
you.
people sub to you.
I will
over
say
there.
her channel is not just all like she does a lot of amazing stuff on her channel. It's just not like, hey, watch me do delivery.
Right.
You know, it's a
Yeah.
lot of good content on that channel.
No, and I like her
Thank you.
positioning of her cameras. Like you have a
Oh, the
GoPro
multiple
mount.
angles. She's pretty good at that editing, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's got the one
Thank
on the
you.
side. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. We get all of these people who do those, and I haven't seen anybody mount one to the ceiling between the
What?
seats coming out the windshield.
I'm
And
gonna
then
have
Yeah.
you've got the one on your blind coming this way on your side view so that you
Yeah.
can talk and
Some
get it's great. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know.
someone the other day, they were like, "Do you pay the person that's in the car with you?" And I was like, "No, it's just me. Like it's just my cameras. It makes it look like there's someone else there, but it's just
She
me."
got a camera crew following her
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Atlanta, I have to admit, I had just heard your channel last week. I'm gonna watch some videos and definitely subscribe. But the camera angles, I might
Thank
have
you.
to steal that idea. I might have to steal
Yeah,
it.
go for it. My dad does YouTube, and he was the one that he came in and helped me do a video, and he put up a camera there, and I was like, "Oh, I love that!" And then went out and bought another GoPro.
Nah, that's awesome.
So I was like, "Yeah, it's great."
That's cool.
All right, guys. Well, thank everybody. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Pedro, for bringing in a bunch of people too, because Pedro did a live right before this, and
No problem, man.
that's awesome. We got a lot of people in here,
Also,
and hopefully
thank
some
Driver
good
Sensei as
exposure for
well.
you guys.
Thank Driver
well,
Sensei for doing all of our conversions on the fly for us.
Yeah.
yeah.
We need to tip Driver
Thank you,
Sensei.
Math Sensei. Conversion Sensei. But thank you guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, panel. And we will see you back here next week. And everybody, what's up? What's up, Dash Theory? We will see you back here next week, and have a great week, guys.
Peace. See ya.
Yeah.